Yeah, that's right, another Zenless Zone Zero video! This is taking me back to the Psychonauts 2 videos I made when the hype was most palpable, and any new information was loved and treasured. There are zero new characters in today's video, instead we're talking about the Hollows. Because the first volume of the Hollows Survival Guide was added to the official site containing all sorts of useful tips and tricks for the uninitiated Hollows explorer, or for anybody who just wandered too far off the beaten path and now fears for their life. So we now have a better idea of what Hollows look like and how they behave, which was really bugging me. It wasn't made explicitly clear or very clear at all, it was just sort of mentioned that they were these areas where terrible things happen. There's also a few neat little things in here we can point at and be like, oh damn, wow, I see, that's pretty interesting. The guide begins with a brief summary on what Hollows are. Long story short, big balls will spring up seemingly at random, and anything within these domed-off areas will behave completely different as space-time takes on an entirely twisted and irregular feel. Creatures known as the Ethereal are apparently created within these hollow spheres. Sprinkle a little bit of hollows around your local neighborhood and just watch them pop up. All within the dimension though, although this is just my assumption. I have no idea if the Ethereal are actually able to leave the hollows through some sort of loophole or exploit, but I guess we'll find out. So, what happened to everyday Joe or Karen that stumbles into one of these things? Well, they become corrupted after a certain amount of time and lack of directional awareness. That is, if the Ethereal don't get them first. As the corruption gets more and more severe, mutation takes place, and we call these unfortunate individuals the corrupted, according to the ending of this highly informative brochure thing. This last bit of the first page of propaganda, I mean good reliable information, reassures us that everything is totally fine and New Eridu can handle anything related to these hollows, and are in fact even able to extract a valuable resource from within these dimensional anomalies known as ether. The usual group that deals with the hollows as part of their daily work and see it as their primary base of operations is the Hollow Investigative Association. I'm thinking these are the people the citizens of New Eridu are actively encouraged to trust in dealing with hollows issues, but there are other groups that make the exploration of the hollows their priority. Hollow Raiders and Proxies utilize these spaces as well, all unofficially or without license to explore, of course. The Raiders raid for valuables and the Proxies guide people through and help with any business that happens to center around or within, most likely just within, the hollows. I have said the word hollows 318 times so far in this video. There's a mention in the next section of the guide of an unnamed resource that is both extremely useful and is actually the cause of the mutations of those overexposed to the hollows. It's not spelled out for you, but I'm pretty sure this is ether. We can also add thugs and absolute lunatics to the list of who is hiding out there within the hollows, and in the final page we have some lovely illustrated instructions on how to behave if you end up lost within the hollows, which basically boils down to stay still, hide, and if you're chased by some horrific monstrosity, run in the direction that has the best airflow, where your breathing becomes less of a hassle. Most importantly, never, ever even blink in the direction of a proxy or raider, and your safety is probably guaranteed, I'm sure. Well, that's it. Very short update today with a bit of useful additions and expansion of previously known details. We're slowly, agonizingly slowly inching our way to getting a better understanding of how the world of Zenless Zone Zero functions, and who makes this city their home, including the Hellspawn from within the hollows, of course. Gotta love those Ethereal. And until the next video, I gotta go on an expedition into the cold wasteland that is my freezer for culinary delicacies, like pizza.